begin with the explanation of the chapter Discovering Tut. The saga continues. Tut, as I have already told you, is the short form of King Tutankhamun. Saga refers to the tale, that is, the tale of King Tutankhamun still continues. It is written by A.R. Williams. Now, let us throw some insight into the life of King Tut. He was just a teenager when he died. Teenagers, my dear students, you know it is the age group from 13 to 18 years. That means the historians were not sure the exact age of King Tut. He was the last heir of a powerful family. He was the last heir, he was the last descendant, the successor of his family. And it was a very powerful family that had ruled Egypt and its empire for centuries. He was laid to rest, that means he was given a proper burial with gold. Given a burial with gold indicates that how powerful the dynasty was and how rich it was. Since the discovery of the tomb in 1922, till 1922, the tomb of King Tut was not at all traced, but it was discovered in the year 1922 by the British archaeologist Howard Carter. The modern world has speculated, that means it is the historians who believe that what had happened to him and what was the most important possibility that he had been murdered. Now, leaving his tomb for the first time in almost 80 years, as technology has advanced, so has man's curiosity. And now the archaeologists were really very keen to find out what was the reason behind the death of King Tut and what was his age when he had died. So, in order to find out the answers to these questions, his body was taken out of his grave after 80 years and provides CT scan that offers new clues about his life and death. His body was taken out. Why? Because his body had to undergo a CT scan to answer the two most important questions. What was his age when he had died? And what was the reason of his death? Now, this CT scans, it provides precise data for an accurate forensic reconstruction of the boyish pharaoh. Now, pharaoh, who's a pharaoh? According to Egyptians, pharaoh is the king. An angry wind stirred up ghostly dust devils as King Tut was taken from his resting place in the ancient Egyptian cemetery known as the Valley of the Kings. Irrespective of any religion or any community, everybody believes that after the death of a person, the body should not at all be fiddled with as it is unnatural. One should not at all challenge nature, one should not at all go against nature. Now, after one's death, when this body was taken out, it means it was going against nature. That is why it is referred that the wind was blowing. Because it's a desert, definitely the wind was blowing, but the wind seems to be quite angry. Why? Because the archaeologists, they were going against nature. And they were stirring up the ghostly dust, and it believed as if it was ghostly, it depicts an evil omen, that is, an evil thing was about to befall as they all were going against nature. Dark bellied clouds scudded across the sky. That means the clouds had become dark and they were moving across the sky all day and now were veiling the stars. Till now the weather was very clear, the stars were visible, but now dark clouds had covered up these twinkling stars in cascade grey. Now, which was the date and which was the year and which was the month? It was 6 p.m. And which was the month? It was 5th January 2005. The world's most famous mummy glided headfirst into a CT scanner, brought here to probe. To probe means to investigate the lingering medical mysteries. Lingering means the still pending medical histories of this little understood young ruler who had died more than 3,300 years ago. Now, this was the tomb of King Tut, and this was the mummified body of King Tut. Now, actually, what do you mean by mummy? Mummy refers to that after the death of the powerful rulers, their body was amalgamated with herbs. This was known as mummy, that means their body was preserved. All afternoon, the usual line of tourists from around the world had descended into the cramped, rock cut tomb some 26 feet underground to pay their respects. That means the cemetery or the graveyard of King Tut was below the ground. They gazed at the murals. What do you mean by murals? Murals refer to the paintings on the walls. These are known as the murals. They started looking up at the murals on the walls of the burial chamber and peered at Tut's gilded face. Now, what do you mean by gilded face? It refers to that the face was coated with gold. This is the meaning of the gilded face. Some visitors read from guidebooks in a whisper. Whisper means very softly they were talking with each other. Others stood silently. Silently means they were the silent spectators. They were the mute spectators. Perhaps pondering. Pondering means they were just trying to give an answer to the Tut's untimely death in his late teens, or wondering with a shiver if the Pharaoh's curse, death or misfortune falling upon those who disturbed him, was really true. Now, it is believed that you should not at all go against the nature, you should not at all go against the dead. Why? Otherwise, the curse is going to befall. That means some bad omen is going to befall, some unnatural happening will take place. The mummy is in very bad condition because of what Carter did in the 1920s. I had told you the mummy of King Tut was discovered by Howard Carter, a British archaeologist, in the year 1922. Sid Zahi Hawass, he was the Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities. Now, what do you mean by antiquities? The things belonging to the past. As he leaned over the body for the long first look, Carter, Howard Carter, was a British archaeologist who in 1922 discovered Tut's tomb after years of futile means useless, searching. Its contents, though hastily ransacked. Now, what do you mean by hastily? Hurriedly. Ransacked, that means as if, ransacking means just like when the thief is about to rob a house, and that is in a very hurried manner they take off all the things that are there in the house. That is the meaning of ransacking. In antiquity was surprisingly complete. They remain the richest royal collection ever found and have become part of the pharaoh's legend. Why was this particular burial shrine or the burial chamber considered to be fabulously rich? Why? Because King Tut had belonged to a family line which was really very, very wealthy. And it is believed by the Egyptians that there is life after death. So that is why there were n number of the funerary treasures that were buried along with him. Stunning artifacts in gold, their eternal brilliance meant to guarantee resurrection. Resurrection means to wake up from the dead, caused a sensation at the time of the discovery and still get the most attention. But Tut was also buried with everything he had won in the afterlife: the board games, a bronze razor, linen undergarments, the cases of food and wine. Dear students, I've told you that the Egyptians believed in life after death. These were the funerary treasures. After months of carefully recording the pharaoh's funerary treasures, Carter began investigating his three nested coffins. That means his coffin was not only one layer, but there were 3 layers to his coffin. Now, opening the first, he found a shroud adorned with garlands of willow and olive leaves. My dear students, you would have heard about a wreath. Now, what is the wreath? That is a bouquet of flowers that is made and it is offered at the shrine, at the grave of a dead person. So, the first layer of the coffin consisted of a shroud. Shroud means a white cloth on which these flowers were kept, which were the evidences that King Tut was either buried in the month of March or April. When he finally reached the mummy, though he ran into trouble, the second layer was passed by. When he had reached up the third layer, Howard Carter went into trouble. Let us see what was the trouble. The ritual raisins. Now, what do you mean by raisins? Actually, raisins is the liquid, or it is the substance which is used in order to stick the body or to stick the mummy to the coffin. Had hardened. Now, this substance had got very hardened and they were not at all able to separate the raisin from the body. The ritual raisins had hardened, cementing Tut to the bottom of his solid gold coffin. And see, the coffin was not at all made up of wood. It was made up of gold. That itself is an indication how fabulously wealthy the dynasty of King Tut was. No amount of legitimate force could move them. They tried all the means to separate the raisins from the body, but it was futile. The sun came, beat down like a hammer this far southern Egypt. It's the country Egypt, which is very close to equator, and you very well know it is very, very hot. So it was really getting very difficult for Howard Carter and his men to work in such a hot temperature. And Carter tries to use it to loosen the raisins. Now, the only option that was left by Carter was to take the body from the graveyard to the ground, that is upstairs and to lay it at rest under the sun, thinking that the raisins and the body would be separated. This is the coffin where King Tut was laid down to rest. He set the mummy outside in blazing sunshine that heated it to 149 degrees Fahrenheit. See the temperature. It was extremely hot. See the mummy that was taken out. Nothing budged, but then it was futile. The body and the raisin did not get separated. He reported with scientific detachment that the the solid material had to be chiseled away, had to be removed away from the coffin, the limbs and trunk before it was possible to lift the king's remains. That means now the only option left for them was to break, or rather to chisel all the limbs of King Tut, and in order to study about King Tut. In his defense, Carter really had little choice. If he hadn't cut the mummy free, the thieves most certainly would have circumvented the guards. Now, in that part of the desert, we have the thieves, and if Carter wouldn't have separated the body, the thieves would have cheated the guards and would have taken away all the treasures of King Tut. In Tut's time, the royals were fabulously wealthy, and they thought or hoped they could take their riches with them. Again, this was a belief that there is life after death and they can carry away their riches. For his journey to the great beyond, to whichever world King Tut was about to go, King Tut was lavish with glittering goods. The precious collars, the inlaid necklaces, they all are the jewelries that was kept along with him, and bracelets, the rings, the amulets, a ceremonial apron, the sandals, the sheets for his fingers and toes, and the now iconic inner coffin and mask, all of pure gold. This one, the entire body, or rather, the entire King Tut was mummified. Carter's men removed the mummy's head and severed nearly every major joint. Once they had finished, they reassembled the remains on a layer of sand in a wooden box with padding that concealed the damage, the, the bed where the Tut now rests. In other words, now they had broken away all the limbs. They had chiseled away all the limbs of King Tut. And then after that, they had concealed it. That means they had put a layer and concealed the limbs on that. Archaeology has changed substantially. Archaeology in the past is very different from archaeology in the present. Now, archaeology is not only the study by all the equipments that they had, but now archaeology also involves science, focusing less on treasure and more on the fascinating details of life. Now, archaeology is not at all concerned to study about the wealth, the treasures of the dynasty, but now they are more concerned about what was the life that they had led, what was their age when they had died, and so on and so forth, and intriguing mysteries of death. It also uses more sophisticated tools, including medical technology. I've told you that now science is helping out archaeology. Technology has been so advanced that now it is helping out archaeology. In 1968, more than 40 years after Carter's discovery, an anatomy professor. Now, what is anatomy? An anatomy is a branch of science which deals with the internal organs of the human. So, he was an anatomy professor. And when he had x rays the mummy, he came across a startling, a surprising fact that his chest, his breastbone, and front ribs were missing. Today, the diagnostic imaging can be done with computed tomography or CT scan, by which hundreds of X rays and cross sections are put together like slices of bread to create a three-dimensional virtual body. What more would a CT scan reveal of Tut than the X ray? And could it answer the two of the biggest questions still lingering about him? How did he die? And how old was he at the time of his death? So there were speculations that the body was undergoing a CT scan, whether the CT scan will be able to give the answers to the two questions, that how did he die and what was his age. King Tut's demise was a big event, even by royal standards. Demise refers to death. It was a very big event. Why? Let us see. He was the last heir of his family line. That means after there was nobody else to succeed him. So that is why it was a big event. And his funeral was the death rattle of a dynasty. That means with the death of King Tut, the dynasty would come to an end, the powerful dynasty. So that is why it was a big event. But the particulars of his passing away and its aftermath are unclear.